welcome to the podcast for When the Curves Line Up for October 12, 2023. Please see the article that includes diagrams of today's events on the website at whenthecurveslineup.com. Text by Jeffrey L. Hunt. In Chicago, sunrise occurs at 6:59 a.m. Central Daylight Time, followed by sunset at 6:14 p.m. In 2 days, an annular, or ring eclipse is visible from a path across the western and southwestern U.S. The moon is near apogee, the farthest point in its orbit, and it does not completely cover the sun. At the maximum eclipse, a ring of sunlight surrounds the moon. From across the western hemisphere, a partial eclipse is visible. From New York City, the sun is 23% covered at 1:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here is today's planet forecast. In the morning sky, 2 morning planets, Venus and Jupiter, bracket the Milky Way's Orion region that is in the southern sky before sunrise. At 1 hour before sunup, brilliant Venus is 30 degrees up in the east-southeast, 3.4 degrees below Regulus, Leo's brightest star. The morning star continues to step eastward against the distant starfield. Regulus is at the bottom of a shape resembling a backwards question mark, known as the sickle of Leo. The pattern is a westward-facing lion that we see in silhouette. The animal's haunches and tail are made by a triangle to the lower left of Regulus. Denebola, the lion's tail, dots the triangle's eastern vertex. This morning, the crescent moon, 5% illuminated, is over 10 degrees above the eastern horizon and 10.0 degrees to the lower right of the tail star. Bright Jupiter is less than halfway up in the west-southwest, 12.5 degrees to the left of Hamel, Aries' brightest star, and 11.2 degrees to the upper left of Menkar, part of Cetus. The planet retrogrades, appears to move westward against the starfield, and approaches an imaginary line from Hamel to Menkar. The Pleiades star cluster, part of Taurus, is nearly 18 degrees above the planet. The stellar bundle is on the western extreme of the bright Orion congregation. The bull's head is made by bright Aldebaran and the Hyades star cluster. Orion, the flagship constellation of the region, is about halfway up in the west-southwest with bright stars Betelgeuse and Rigel. This area of the sky has 6 of the 10 brightest stars visible from the mid-northern latitudes. Sirius, night's brightest star, is over 30 degrees up in the southern sky, but slightly east of the south cardinal direction. Procyon, part of Canis Minor, is over halfway up in the sky to the upper left of Sirius. Notice that Sirius, Betelgeuse, and Procyon make nearly an equilateral triangle, known as the Winter Triangle. Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, are higher in the sky, to the east of Auriga's pentagon shape. Sirius made its first morning appearance during August, while the twins and Auriga appeared earlier in the summer season. Each morning, they are slightly farther westward. If you are looking for Jupiter during the early evening, the Pleiades are in the sky at that time. By early winter, Orion's region is in the eastern sky after sundown. During February, the stellar assembly is in the south during the early evening. Near mid-spring, Orion leaves the sky during evening twilight, returning to the eastern sky during early summer mornings. Use a binocular to explore the bright star's colors from rosy to sapphire, the bright star clusters, and the Orion Nebula, below the Hunter's Belt. To see the gaseous cloud, hold the binocular so that the belt stars are at the top of the field of view. The nebula is to the bottom left, appearing as a greenish hazy patch. Even with the optical assist, the colors in the beautiful photos do not appear. This morning Mercury, coming off its best morning appearance of the year, hides in bright pre-dawn twilight. It rises only 30 minutes before the sun. In the evening sky, Mars is not visible. It sets about 30 minutes after the sun. Saturn, not as bright as Venus or Jupiter, is nearly 30 degrees above the southeast horizon at 1 hour after sunset. It retrogrades in front of Aquarius, 7.1 degrees to the left of Deneb Alchdi, Capricornus tail. Look for Fomalhaut, the mouth of the southern fish, about 20 degrees below Saturn. Saturn is not much to see through a binocular, perhaps a tiny extension of the rings might be visible. Through a telescope at around 80x magnification, the rings are easily visible. With the rings, the planet appears to be about the diameter of a number 2 pencil eraser held at arm's length. If you have not had an opportunity to look at the ringed wonder through a telescope, find a telescope event at a local science museum or astronomy club. Better yet, convince the neighborhood sky watcher to show you Saturn through their telescope. Jupiter rises 64 minutes after sundown. About an hour later, the Jovian giant is over 10 degrees above the eastern horizon. As midnight approaches, it is over halfway up in the east-southeast. At this hour, Orion is above the eastern horizon. Tomorrow morning the bright morning planets again bookend the bright stars in the Orion region. Thank you for listening. Please read the articles at whenthecurveslineup.com.